Alright, so guest on here. I'm here to make another quick tutorial. I'm hoping it's quick. The last couple of videos I did, probably not really that quick. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to adjust the AI speed without actually, how do you explain it? Without touching the track INI folder. I call it the track indie folder. So without doing that, we're actually going to jump right into the game. This is basically just a quick tutorial on how to bring in more pack racing on tracks outside of Daytona and Talladega. So what we're going to do, we're going to jump into testing session, and what we're going to do is we're going to edit the AI without actually editing the AI, if that makes sense. What we're going to do is we're going to use we're going to edit the AI setup and then the AI ratings. To slow the cars down, what you want to do is, well, what I do personally is I drop the grill tape all the way down. If you want to I mean, I don't think handling really matters based on AI setup. I could be wrong. You want to have the spoiler maxed out. I don't know what the default gear ratio is. Like I said, we're actually going to go to, nope, that's not right. We're going to go to fast. What do I have it on? 0. I already have it set up basically. So to slow the cars down even more, what you want to do is you want to have a decent ratio between the gears. You don't want them to be too far apart. Basically, you don't want to switch from third to fourth while still just hitting 100 miles an hour. It's just going to stall out well, not really technically stall out the cars, but it's going to slow them down to the point where they won't get any acceleration, and you'll be lucky to max out at 120. But anyway, okay, so yeah, what you want to do, what I do personally, I keep the spoiler maxed out, I keep the grill tape all the way off, and I jack down the fourth gear. Third gear, it's pretty much on just how fast you want to go. If they're going too fast, even as it's set up right now, you want to either drop this, which is the overall ratio, or you want to increase third gear to a little bit. You don't want to go too much, let's say 2, no 1.9, whatever. You don't want to get too much because then, like I said, they're going to stall out. So we're going to drop that back down to 5.4. We're going to save it. It's got to be saved as fast, because if it's not called fast, it's not going to work for the AIs. So what you're going to do is we're going to get the AI to actually use that. We're going to back all the way out. We're going to go to tracks, Atlanta. Nope, that's wrong. Scratch that. We're going to go to players. We're going to go to your name, setups. Yes, I have a bunch. These are all BS though. I have no idea what's real and what's not. So Atlanta, the track basically you were just editing. You want to take the fast dot. Right, well, we use the cup series, so it's going to be cup. You want to, if you want it for the truck, for the CTS physics or the GNS physics, you're going to have to use a mod that has those physics. So for example, if I wanted the CTS physics, I would use the truck series or the cup series that has the CTS physics set up. And then you'll have to go in a testing session using that personal mod. You can't just go in using a cup mod and expect to save it as a CTS. I mean, technically you can, because you can just rename it CTS. But even then, I don't know how well that would work. So we're going to keep it cup. So we're going to copy it. We're going to go back to the game folder. Go under tracks, Atlanta, paste. Do you want to replace? We're going to say yes for now, because this is default. What you want to do is, I'm going to actually use this as an example. What you want to do is make a backup file in case you want to keep the original AI setup. So we're going to rename that fast D for default, and then we're going to obviously, so let's just say that was the default one. We wouldn't rename that first, and then we would want to go into players, setups, and then track, and then copy. Fast, copy, and then back out to tracks, Atlanta, and then paste. And it'll overwrite if you have one already in there, or it'll just paste it automatically without asking you to overwrite, and then obviously you have the backup file. That's just an example. Alright, so I don't recommend deleting the backup files, even if you don't plan on using it again. It just saves time from re-downloading the whole track in case you actually want to go back to it for whatever reason. Usually the default files, default AI setups are pretty good, so you want to keep those the best way possible. But anyway, this is what's going to happen. You're going to want to go back and go jump into the game. Again, this isn't the default quote-unquote track file. I think it's primarily tweaked to my personal liking. So, but again, I'm just doing this as an example. So let's just say it is a default quote-unquote. I'm going to drive, and I'm actually going to back out because I am going to just test this for you. And I do apologize if there's no sound. My capture card or capture software doesn't feel like capturing the sound. So we're gonna fast forward a couple laps. So as you can see, they're coming off turn. We're gonna keep that up. Drop the FPS rate. This is Larson, the leader. Drop that. They're maxing out at, what was it, 175 going into the turn. So obviously it slowed them down a decent amount. It will help with pack racing. As you can see, they're still somewhat together. Obviously, to get full quote-unquote '09 package racing, you're going to have to mess with the race.lp file and the track.ini file, and it's just a bunch of messing around with it. Even the physics, if you want to really go that into it. But you can see he's catching up. I mean, they're not even maxing out at 190 going into it. If you rewrite the LP file, they'll a little bit more smoother instead of slamming the brakes going into turn one. But as you can see, they're running a little bit slower. Cars are still somewhat bunched up. They're not really spreading out as far, especially back here. I'm going to replace the default. Sorry if I'm yelling, but we're going to replace the default file just to see the difference. So after I test this, I'm going to show you how another way to edit the AI speed without touching the main track file. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments and I'll answer them the best I can, or hit me up on one of the NR forums that I'm a part of. Yeah, so you can see they're almost hitting 190, so they're going a little bit faster than they were. So that alone just makes a difference. And obviously, if you go back here and the default. Oh, that's mine. My bad. All right, this is the default we put back in, or we replaced it with. So the second file we replaced it with. Spoiler is still the same. The grill tape is increased to 55, and obviously fourth gear is increased to 1.0, so they are going a little bit faster, and obviously the tire wear, but again, I haven't tested it, so I don't know. If you decrease the spoiler down to the max, I don't know what it is here, default. 45. All right, so if you increase that up, increase that to, say, 75, I don't know if they overheat. I'm assuming they do, but I can't be for sure. Then they're probably going to hit close to 195, 200. All right. So yeah, what we have here, this is the main car file, by the way. You're not gonna be able to touch any of the backup car folders that you have. So what we're gonna do is aerodynamics and engine, the two main factors in speed. We're gonna set them both to 0. This is just to slow them down extremely. They'll pretty much be crawling at this point. What I do for the Cup Series. I'm probably going to keep it at like 75 for the aerodynamics. Probably keep the engines as close as possible between 50 and 75 or whatever. I don't know. You do that. You save. Obviously, make a backup file in case you don't like this and you don't want to remember the previous numbers, the previous ratings. And look how packed they are. Look how slow they're running. So there is a massive difference between that. Oh, someone hit the wall. So yeah, I mean they're maxing out 165 in the turns. You can see they're maxing out 160 going in the turns. They're basically running full speed around this whole track with low aerodynamics. Your car is going to handle differently with the same settings. So let's say, and again, this is the quote-unquote re-default we had. See with the fast. See, this is with the 3.4 and the 1.0. So let's say we go back to the original file I initially put in, where you drop that down, you drop this all the way down. I'm not going to save it because I'm not going to remember it. Keep that up, and we drop the tire pressure, but like I said, I don't have a testing on that, so I'm not going to mess with that. And let's say we save it. They're even going to go even slower. So with this mixed with the current ratings I just added, they're going to go a little bit slower. If you do the same thing to your car, you're going to basically run the same speed as them. The ratings don't affect you as much as them. So as you saw, it's about 20-30 mile per hour difference with their ratings with their rating edited. If you edit the same part of your rating, yes, it will affect your car, but you're maybe losing probably half of what they're losing. Somehow Banner Hill's leading with 160 miles an hour. So again, just examples, just throwing that out there for you. That's how you slow down. That's how I slow down personally. A lot of people will probably disagree. A lot of people don't want you messing with their tracks. So this is a way around that. So that's essentially how you do that. And you would be the same with any track, not just Atlanta. So you do it with Indianapolis. They're going to slow down a ton. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, that's just a way to slow them down. So if you have any questions, let me know. Hit me up in the comments or hit me up on any of the NR forums that I'm a part of. Thrasher24 or Thrasher124 are my 2 usernames. So yeah, that's basically it.